little interview. Well, Ben, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's good to have you in studio. So our nation mourns the passing of Nelson Mandela. Government is saddened by the passing of our hero, international icon and founding president of our democracy. How has his passing affected you as an individual who is following on his path to freedom for all South Africans?
Well, it really affected me greatly. Firstly, as a comrade whom I've been together at Robben Island for some time. In fact, I've been there at Robben Island for 14 years. So I was together with him.
Yeah.
And many a time he had been consulting with us as we were in our various areas in prison. I found him a reconciling person, a person who wants peace and wants to understand other racial groups. I'll give an example. We had a problem at Robben Island because we came at Robben Island with that bitterness against Africans in particular.
Yeah.
Then now there comes a problem of reading a newspaper, because we had to steal newspapers because we were not allowed to have any papers, any news.
Yeah.
So then the problem was question of translating Afrikaans, because we had that attitude towards Africans at the time. Then Madiba advised us, said, comrades, you must try and understand all the languages of South Africa, because at the end of the day, we are going to stay with all these people as one nation. And therefore, try and learn this language so that you are able to interpret, to understand the news that are coming from Africans or whatever, because these are part of society of South Africa. So that is how reconcilable a man was. Now, we had the problem of tortures, being tortured. The very first 5 years, it was a terrible situation there. We were being tortured, beaten up, harassed, everything. What Madiba did was to put a letter underground, in fact, to reach Cape Times. The letter was written, titled Hell and Hatred at Robben Island. Then it tabulated what was actually happening.
Yeah, it's saying these are the things that are going on.
These are the things that are going on. People cannot live like this type of language. So he was in the forefront of trying to make peace as it is with, and trying also to persuade us not to be confrontational, and to try and have an understanding of the type of waters that were sent to Robben Island. So that was the type of a man we had with him.
Obviously a very resilient man.
Yeah. Also, when I was outside, I was also detained again in the state of emergency, the 80s. That's 1985 to 1989. And now, when we came out, there was a terrible fight, a war between taxi industries. They were killing each other. They were already in B. There were about 8 people who had died. So we decided to try and create some understanding and peace, and were able to solve the problem. Then I went to Gauteng, to Joburg I was attending a meeting of the NEC together with my secretary. Was the chairperson of the province then. He asked me to give a report. What actually happened? How did you solve the problem of the taxi? That's what he said to me. I said, no, this is what we did. We did that and that and that to bring them together. We told them that taxi industry is a business. Then he said to me, there could be no other areas in the country that can solve the problem of taxi industry except the Eastern Cape. And he said, I'm happy for that you have done that. I think we have to also inform the other provinces how to deal with this question, this problem. In fact, I informed Western Cape because Western Cape had the same problem.
Yeah.
How we solve it. Because we're not depending solely on the police, but we as leaders were able to do that. So that was the man. That was the type of man that he tried every time to reconcile one piece.
Peacefully solve problems.
Solving problems. So that is the loss now we had, in my feeling, that we have lost a great man, a great reconciler of a person in the country.
Now tell me, what measures are put in place to ensure that the nation and the international community are afforded appropriate opportunities to honor Madiba?
Yes, well, I think firstly, the fact that the heads of states, because yesterday I was there in Gauteng. I attended that.
Must have been an amazing place to be.
Amazing place, in fact. When all the heads of states were there, about 101 were there, all over the world they were there, and the amazing speech by the President of America, Obama, it was very, very interesting. Reconciling speech. In fact, all of them were very much reconciling and praising this type of a leader. That is a unique leader, person who will live forever. So that was the situation, which in fact everybody in fact could understand that we have lost a great leader. And nobody can ever come to that situation. That the way he was able to deal with society, the way he was able to deal with the problems of society in South Africa in particular, and in the world at large.
Can you tell us about the legacy that former President Mandela leaves on the country?
Well, he leaves in the country that everything is reconcilable. Every problem you can through debate, through dialogue, you can solve it. You can come to agreements, whatever problem you face in society, and that war is not the solution of any problem, but you need to come down and sit down and debate whatever.
Find a peaceful solution to
it. So that is what he taught. That's why you find today that South Africa has become the reconciler of the world, of the African countries. Whenever there is
up the EU.
War, it was through his teaching, as it is, put it that way.
Now, the nation really loved Mandela. Is there a message on how they should carry on the work he started to ensure a democracy for all in this country?
Yes, I think that is. Firstly, I think what is important is that he left a message that then there is a need of trying to bring together all the various racial groups that are in the country. We need to understand that we have to stay together as one nation, not as different nations.
Not divided.
Not divided. And that we had to try and also address the question of poverty, the question of the former disadvantaged people of South Africa, for us to live in peace in the country.
Now, what words of appeal would you give to South Africans and the world to respect this period of mourning with a dignity that would reflect the true national character that Mandela led?
Yes, well, I would say that what perhaps we have to think of equality and a non-racial society in South Africa. We have to work for that. We know it's a difficult process, but it needs the leadership strong when we look at people, but we look at people as part of a society of South Africa, and therefore equality and the question of non-racial society. In fact, what is happening in our schools and what is happening, that's why he loved sport, because sport is a reconciling thing. I'll give an example, a typical example of what happened. At Robben Island, we used to play table tennis, soccer, rugby, over game. But I was one of the champions there, myself with another gentleman, were the champion dominating for many years there. Then Nelson Mandela said, because he likes sport and he likes people who are successful in anything, as we will find here in South Africa also. He said, hey, I want you to come this side. We are challenging you. That's what he said. In fact, I could see that he was interested in seeing us playing table tennis. So, because it was difficult to meet with them, because they were in a segregated area. And then the only solution he came up, he said, no, commit an offense so that you're punished and you are going to be brought to nearer us there, because there are isolation cells for people where you are not going to eat for three meals or whatever. So he committed an offense. So we were sent to that side. But the warders refused. He tried to negotiate with them that he wants to see these people, want to see how they play table tennis, but they totally refused. Couldn't meet with them. But he was trying his level best to see us playing table tennis, because he was interested to see champions playing.
Just that love for sport.
The love of sport, and the love of sport as a reconciling thing, because we're playing together, because there were many organizations. There was that hostility at one time between organizations, but the participation in sport brought us together as a unit.
And now, Wamben, do you have any final words to share with us?
Yeah, well, I think what perhaps is important is that we have to say that this legend has left us with a mission that for us to be able to work together, we need to understand the problems and the challenges, and to be able to solve the problems that are facing the country together, and work for equality of all people of South Africa. And that we need to understand that e-sport is going to play a critical role in bringing together the racial groups of South Africa. And therefore, the love of sport, encouraging of our youth to participate in sport, and education in particular, becomes very, very important as one of the messages he leaves behind us.
Well, Wamben, thank you so much for giving us time and a piece of your mind. Like, we really appreciate your time.
That's right. Thank you.
And best of luck for the memorial on Friday.
Oh, that's right.
It's at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium.
Thank you. Then he called the leadership here in Port Elizabeth that he want to see them. It was myself, Comrade Ngoyi, Edgar Ngoyi, Henry Fazi, and Ernest Malgas. That is the four of us were called to come and see the president. He was very cool, calculated. He said, I'm interested in what is actually happening outside in the country. Can you tell me? Because he realized, he loved the metro, because we were in the forefront of the struggle for liberation, and many sacrifices were made here, more than any other country. In fact, they are saying that the history of the ANC, generally, without the history of the Eastern Cape, and in particular the history of the metro, there is no history of the ANC, because many events happened here. Everything happened here, even structures, even the M plan, everything was started here. And even the start of the armed struggle started there. So he wanted to get, because at the time, the situation was tense here in the metro. And because the youth now were embarking on campaigns after campaigns. So he wanted to understand the situation and also to caution us that we must be careful of escalating the situation, that it may be war, that may blood, because the people were dying at the time. So we called us as leadership. So I think that was one aspect of his reconciling attitude. That's how we were able to understand now that then we need to at least to look forward to trying to calm the youth of the
bring them together, basically.
And, that's right. I think that was the situation that we find ourselves at the time, of seeing a leader and who respects peace, want peace in the country, want reconciliation, want that for us, for the country to move forward, there must be stabilization, and we as leaders who have to stabilize, to lead the people and to lead the youth, to give the directive to the youth.
So it's saying the Peace Park is kind of a symbol for...
Now, then, I've forgotten this point I'm coming in. Now, what then happened? He was released. When he was released, he had a rally at Paarl, big rally, huge rally. Then he came to B, the biggest rally. There were 500,000 people were there. 500,000. That was the biggest rally ever in South Africa, even in the whole of Africa. He could not, in fact, no stadium could contain that. I was the chairperson. I was escorting him to the stage. It was so difficult to control the people because everybody wanted to salute him.
Yeah. Everyone was keen.
Very much keen. So he addressed the audience there. And everybody was very, very happy. It was an excitement to seeing this man, this legend, who has stayed in prison for so long and still be very peaceful and not hostile, not bitter against society and not bitter against his enemies and all that. So that was the situation of this man.
Well, thank you very much for that, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.